Hello, everyone. My name is Maxwell Moreira, and today I'll be presenting my case study on a leadership communication breakdown during the implementation of a new project management system. For this assignment, I approached the scenario from the perspective of a museum manager. Museums rely heavily on teamwork to coordinate exhibits, educational programs, volunteers, and community events. So, effective communication is essential. I'll discuss the root causes of the problem, evaluate possible solutions, explain my implementation plan, and reflect on how emotional intelligence would help me lead through this situation. The first step was identifying the root causes of the problem. The biggest issue was the lack of training. Employees were expected to use a completely new project management system after receiving very little instruction, leaving many unsure how to complete their work effectively. The second issue was poor communication. Management introduced the new system but didn't clearly explain why the change was necessary or how it would benefit the employees. When people don't understand the purpose behind a change, they're usually less willing to support it. Another major factor was resistance to change. Many employees naturally preferred using the methods they already knew instead of learning an unfamiliar software. Finally, there weren't enough employee feedback. Some employees were frustrated but didn't feel comfortable speaking up, while others remained silent altogether. Because management wasn't gathering feedback regularly, many concerns were unresolved, leading to declining morale and missed deadlines. Several groups are affected by this situation. First are the team members. They became frustrated because expectations are unclear. They don't feel confident using the new system. As deadlines get closer, their stress levels increase. Senior management is also affected. They expect full adoption of new software and are concerned about declining productivity and missed project deadlines. Clients are another important stakeholder. They rely on projects being completed on time. So, delays could reduce their confidence in the organization. From my perspective, as a museum manager, I would need to balance the leadership expectations with the needs of my staff, while still ensuring exhibits and public programs remain on schedule. Emotionally, employees may feel overwhelmed and uncertain, while senior management may become impatient if progress isn't happening quickly enough. As the leader, it is important that I remain calm and communicate clearly instead of allowing stress to affect my decision making. My EQI assessment helped shape how I approached this case. One of my strengths is assertiveness. I can communicate expectations clearly while still encouraging employees to ask and share concerns. Another strength is impulse control. During stressful situations, it is important for leaders to stay calm and think before reacting. That creates trust and helps prevent conflicts from becoming worse. Flexibility is another important strength. Every employee learns differently. Being willing to adjust leadership style based on feedback would improve the team's transition to the new system. One area where I want to improve is reality testing. Rather than making assumptions about why employees are struggling, I would gather facts and listen carefully before making decisions. Using these emotional intelligence skills would help me improve communication, strength, trust, and guide the team through the change more successfully. I considered three possible solutions. The first option is providing additional training. This would improve employee confidence and increase adoption of the new system. Although training requires time away from work, long term benefits definitely outweigh the temporary loss in productivity. The second option is holding weekly feedback meetings. These meetings would allow employees to discuss problems early before they become larger issues. The third option is using a phased implementation. Instead of expecting everybody to switch immediately, employees would gradually transition into using the new system. This reduces stress, but also delays the full implementation. After comparing the three options, I chose a combination of additional training and weekly feedback meetings. This solution addresses both the technical and communication problems at the same time. Training helps employees develop the skills they need to use the software effectively, while regular feedback meetings give employees opportunities to ask questions, discuss challenges, and feel heard throughout the transition. This approach also aligns with senior management's expectations by improving adoption rates while keeping projects moving forward. Overall, it focuses on solutions and solving the root causes rather than simply treating the symptoms. My implementation plan takes place over 4 weeks. During the first week, I would introduce the plan and distribute an anonymous survey to gather honest employee feedback. In the second week, employees would participate in hands on training sessions and peer mentors. The third week would focus on weekly progress meetings where employees could discuss challenges and managers could recognize improvements. Finally, during week 4, I would evaluate, review project progress, and report the results to senior management. Communication is also very important. Employees would receive weekly meetings, email updates, and individual coaching when needed. Success would be measured by higher adoption rates, stronger participation during meetings, project being completed on time, and improved employee morale. If adoption remained low after 4 weeks, I would extend training, provide additional one on one coaching, and adjust timelines when necessary. This case study reinforced that successful organizational change depends on how people will work just as much as the technology. Employees are much more willing to embrace change when they feel supported, included, and listened to throughout the entire process. My emotional intelligence strengths, particularly assertiveness, flexibility, and impulse control, would help me communicate effectively while maintaining trust during difficult situations. The biggest challenge will be balancing employee concerns with senior management expectations while still meeting important deadlines. The most valuable lesson I learned is that leadership isn't simply giving instruction, it's listening, adapting, communicating clearly, and helping people succeed during time of change. Thank you for listening.